Let's do it.
2, 1, go.
All right, all right, all right. We got ourselves our tournament race, myself versus Talik. A little sloppy. Good damage stacks. All right, all right. Riveting Extent 862. Lycanthrope. Decent start. Cool cape. Okay. Let's just do it nice and easy. Dynamite. There we go. Easy death skip. Definitely don't want to fail that. Very carefully jump over that because you will soft lock if you go down there. Let's be very conservative in our movement. Let's try not to overexert ourselves. Didn't get a lot of time to warm up before this, but it's fine. Nothing here. The best song in the game. Let's go. I intentionally break that one candle with the item that had the heart max up. I break it on the other side in case it is a heart max up, so that way I don't have to like jump over it awkwardly. A little awkward. Could have been worse. Mana Prism drop. Okay. That's nice, for sure. Katana. $330 is pretty decent time to open that door. Pretty decent. A little bit awkward. Miracurus. Pretty much a useless item. Spirit Orb, Vanilla. Getting money in case there's like a $200 library card. Very good. Love to see it. Not too bad. Decent movement at the start. Feeling pretty okay about this. I'll grab it. That was early, maybe? No. Okay, there's our money. No reason to grab a zircon when we just found a diamond. I'm gonna go up because 1, I want to refill my MP. 2, I think Talik will do this as well. So it's not like I'm wasting time. I think Talik is a very thorough checker. So I'm fine by wasting like 30 seconds doing this or whatever the time loss is. So layer 0 echo. Obsidian sword? I mean, that's not that useful. Not the cleanest movement. Tooth. So it's going to be in the actual shop itself, huh? Okay. Okay. Gravity boots.
I'm interested in this. I'm interested in this.
Thank you.
Girthang, probably buying that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I can't afford the Girthang anymore. That's really funny. Wow, I fucked up. Shit. It's fine.
Farewell for now.
Unfortunate. If I find like a garnet or something, I'll be able to afford it again, but it's fine. I have the Covenant Stone, which is good enough to deal with the entirety of the first castle with Shield Rod anyways. A little bit of a mistake. It's not going to cost me too much, I don't think, though. Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Because, like, I don't need that Girthing until, like, the second castle anyways. Come on, dude, my movement. Okay, let's grab this, because we will likely be coming back here. No, I have the library cards. Why did I do that? Not using my brain. That was just pure time loss for no reason. Yeah, not smart, not smart. Talik is likely ahead because I'm just going to assume he's moving cleanly. He usually does. He also, there's a chance that he opted to skip the, some stuff. That's a level up, really? I kind of need that turquoise. Unfortunately. Oh, really? I got to practice that a little bit the other day, which is cool. I mean, I already have the Mana Prism, actually. Is there anything worth... I guess a second Mana Prism? Which feels a little greedy. Yeah, I think I'm going to skip everything here then. Yeah, Covenant Stone coming in clutch there to do a lot of extra damage. Okay. This room is freaking empty, bro. That's fine. Oh my god. Ugh, whatever. Not clean. Not clean. Fuck. Yeah, I definitely feel a little bit of pressure now. Because I'm playing a little bit poorly, movement-wise. I might have to make a gambler, too. Another diamond. Fantastic. All right, we're fine on money. I can get the Girth thing and not have to worry about it. Two random Vlads. We're looking for next progression is going to be at like well, I mean, it has to be Alchemy Lab. Those are the last two gravity jump locations left. And then what? It can't be Leap Zone because we checked all the flight locations. Oh, except for All Rocks and Gravity Boots. So I guess it could still be flight up here. It's just unlikely. It's just unlikely. Okay, well. Could be Jewel of Open. If it's Jewel of Open, do we go down immediately? I don't know. It's missed. I mean, I would library card, but actually, I think it is better for me to get the Aurochs Warp first, and then library card. Because I know progression has to be in the library, which is cool and all, but, like, that's not what I need to do right now. I need to do the other checks. Because, like, what's best case scenario? I get Flight or Jewel from grabbing Mist, right? But I still have these checks left, so... Okay, Gold Ring, which was Flight locked. Keep that in mind. Could be the Rando Ring, though. Whatever, I'll just do it this way. Bastard Sword. I bought that Drac tunic and never put it on. I'm just now realizing. Which is kind of funny. Okay. Another random Vlad. What an interesting seed. This is looking like a 45-minute seed at this rate. We're likely going to find, it's either we're going to find flight into like early second castle, or we're going to find Jewel of Open, which opens up so much for us. Cool.
What can I do for you?
I'm interested.
Thank you.
I'm interested in this.
Farewell for now.
All right, we have the Gur thing for the second castle. We're looking for probably Jewel of Open would be ideal here. Because then we can check everything in the first castle except for glasses. Thank you, Mist. Okay, Jewel of Open. Here's what I'm thinking. I think we warp to All Rocks. Go to Silver Ring. Library card back, because Silver Ring will either give us the final relic, or it'll give us like Bat, which leads to the final relic, or like the Ring, which leads to Bat, which leads to the final relic. Either way, I think it's the correct play to go to Silver Ring first, because it can be Bat, whereas Spikebreaker, which we also have access to. No, we don't even have access to Spikebreaker yet. I mean, I could try and do it with, like, by spamming heals or something, but I don't even have that as an option yet. I would need, like, Power of Mist, I guess. So. Yeah, let's do All Rocks first. Hope we find the Rando Vlad at All Rocks. That would be great. I'm worried that Talik is taking this exact same route, too. I could see him thinking this through and being correct. I think worst case scenario is he does early... Well, worst case scenario for him. Is that he goes straight to the library after finding Mist? I feel like that would be bad for him. But I doubt he would do that. He's pretty thorough. I wouldn't be surprised if we're on similar routes right now. I think he might go second castle. No, I think he also would go All Rocks here. And again, I think Talik would have the movement advantage here. Come on. glasses. Glasses which were flight locked. Okay. I don't think this is a seed where you actually need to count complexity, because I don't think it matters. I think at this rate, Merman is probably bait. I could be wrong, though. Okay, no random, Vlad. This could be nothing as well, which I think then means Merman actually does have to be not bait. If that's the case. Oh. That's an awkward spot to move in. Oh. So this was our intended flight, and the ring was flight locked, and so was glasses. Weird. Very weird. Very weird. Wow. Unless this isn't our intended flight and it's just random flight. And our intended flight was like Mist and Power of Mist, maybe? Oh, man. Spike Breaker. I think we have to go into the caverns. I think going early second castle is like a gamble that I could try and do, but it feels like that's not smart. Especially with library. But I do have library cards. I don't know. I feel like it's a 50-50. Either you go early second castle, you find what you need, come back to the first castle, or what you need is still in the first castle. Because, like, basically I need to find Mist. Well, actually, Spikebreaker is very likely to be in the caverns if our intended form of flight was Leapstone. But wouldn't that just mean that the highest complexity Vlad is second castle? No, because, yeah, no. Highest complexity, I think, might be the second ring or Merman. That leads to the final relic. Dude, just break the fucking candle! Or the pot! Fuck! Oh, I forgot I have Leapstone. I could have just double jumped. What is wrong with me? Okay. I'm panicking. I'm panicking. Throw steel. Just in case, I'll grab Iron Shield. I think Earthing is still more damage in a lot of scenarios. Or it should be faster. I don't know. Nice. I mean, yeah, Girthing freaking shreds. So, I mean... Okay. Dude, stop. Holy shit, we actually got to see Scylla do stuff. Okay, there's Spikebreaker. So yeah, our intended flight was Leapstone. Into glasses. Which means that that was the rando ring. Interesting. Very interesting. Decent backup. Damn, these boots is secret. It's always nothing. Damn. Damn. "27 minutes, huh? Very interesting. Dude, what is... What... My movement has been kind of bad. Shit. Do I skip Grand Falloon? Opal morning set. Firebrand. Okay. Well. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll skip Grand Falloon. I think if I had the library card out, I wouldn't have skipped Grand Falloon, but because I'm backtracking through the mines, I think it's probably ideal to skip. Especially because I like had the opportunity to do the relic skip for Merman. And I didn't do it. And I definitely, movement-wise, feel at least behind enough by 1 relic. So I think skipping exactly 1 relic is fine. Wow, that frog is the MVP of the randomizer. So it could be Bat is locked behind Holy Glasses, maybe? And that, and then this is the final relic, because it would have been Bat to get to Spike Breaker to get here. Yeah, I think we just second castle, hope for the best. Has the highest density. I know I have the library card equipped. I know I have the library card equipped. I know I have the library card equipped. We will not be making that mistake. Do that. Do that. Do that. So either Grand Falloon had the final relic and I lose in the next, like, 2 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes. Or I saved a little bit of time over Talik, or we both skipped it, which would be unorthodox. I don't think Talik would be one to skip it. Soul Steel. Do I skip Beelzebub? No, because Talik won't. Do I skip Creature? Probably no, because Talik won't. I think doing the 1 relic skip is fine. I think that should be plenty. I don't see a world where Talik goes out of it, especially with the Jewel of Open and stuff. Like, there's always a chance that he got kind of baited by like a early routing decision and is still behind as well. Not very clean. I'm not going to do left side. That would be ridiculous. Yeah, there's no reason to do left side under these circumstances. Maybe if I had Bat and I was really trying to cheese something. I'm fairly certain there's no reason to go back to the first castle at all. I mean, unless I'm really needing Bat, because I'm fairly certain Bat is at Holy Glasses. My movement is very good. Lots of level ups. Aquamedon's gonna be a little annoying. He should die quickly, though. That's fine. Okay. Could have been worse. Nice. Okay. So my relic skip is good. Good. What did I say? It was going to be like a 45-minute seed? It was actually faster than that. Diamond plate. Yeah, that level up animation. Keep it together, keep it together. It's not over yet. Jesus Christ, my movement is really bad right now. Stop. Stop choking. I think my route was really good. My movement wasn't amazing. The one skip that I did was pretty good. It's likely going to be close. That's my guess. It's either going to be close or Talent got mixed up somewhere. But I could see him finishing in the next, like, couple of seconds. I will say I got lucky finding money where I did. Otherwise, I would have had to do a lot more item checks. Come on, dude. My hands are shaking. I'm nervous. I mean, there's not much I can do except finish the game.
Behold my true form.
There it is.
Go back whence you came. Trouble the soul of my mother no more.
Damn.
How?
Damn.
How How is it that I've been so defeated?
What happened?
You have been doomed ever since you lost the ability to love. Sarcasm. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the world and loses his own soul?
Wow.
Matthew 16:26, I believe. Tell me, what were Lisa's last words?
Yo, GG's.
She said,
GG.
"Do not hate humans. If you cannot live
Oh,
with
man.
them, then at least
Seems like I
do
was
them
like
no
10,
harm.
15 minutes behind. I
For
don't know.
theirs is
What?
already a
15
hard
minutes?
lot. She
What
also
happened?
said to tell you that
Oh,
she
hello.
Hey, what's
GG.
up? Dragon Blitz. And
GG's.
we drag Talik in here as well.
Forgive me.
Hi, Talik.
Farewell, my son.
Oh, I thought my internet went down. Whoops.
No, I just got dragged out of the. I was just in the
Oh.
middle of asking Talik what happened.
I mean, nothing. Really, I think I just checked way too many stuff. I don't know, I didn't feel confident, so I just checked everything.
Okay. That's interesting.
Where was the one in Second Castle?
It was at Akmadon.
Oh, I was there
Yeah.
when I posted.
Yeah, the only thing I ended up
Alright,
skipping was Grand Flynn.
Yeah, I thought about it, but yeah, we would have still won by a couple minutes.
See, there was an interesting divergence here pretty early. Where,
Did he go straight down?
didn't go straight down, went up to All Rocks after doing Jewel of Open at Solabat.
Oh, interesting.
Actually worked out great.
Yeah.
That's weird.
My thought process was that at that point in time, once we got missed, my first instinct is like, okay, I'll use my library card because my next the next relic has to be there, and I'm like, wait,
So you
no, I
made it.
shouldn't do that because I'm close
Alucard,
enough to Alrox's
I'm glad
quarters
you're all right.
where I should at least get the warp there first and then decide.
It's my fault you had to
Um,
fight your own
Well, yeah, that's what I
father.
did.
And then
Fear not,
once it was
I
Jewel
have
of
my
Open,
own
I thought to
reasons to
myself,
destroy
okay, I can
him.
clear Alrox and clear
Must have been
Silver
painful
Ring, and
for
that would
you.
give me enough information on like
Indeed.
maybe Silver Ring is
But
the
you
final
must
relic, and then I
always
can know to like
Oh.
skip more
Only
stuff,
thing
or
necessary
oh
for
maybe
you
Silver
to
Ring
decide.
has Bat behind it, and then the intention is that you get Bat and then go to Spike Breaker
understand.
after, or something like that.
Alucard,
Yeah,
That
both
would have
had
been
the
a
same
cool
route.
now.
Where you
Well, it
got
wouldn't have been
the
the same because I didn't have fully,
Flows in my veins.
I didn't have Joe open there.
Twould be
when
best
I
for this
was
world
at
if
that
I were
point,
to
so-
Oh,
disappear
that
from
was
the
so. What I
earlier.
did is I got the Alrox warp, and then I
see.
immediately library carded, grabbed Jewel of
Farewell, then.
Open, and then
Oh, okay.
then
That's what I
went
did.
back to
I just went
Alrox's
down.
quarters. You went down,
Alucard?
yeah. That's what I was thinking
That's fair.
was the
Don't you want to
alternative.
go after him?
But
That actually makes sense because it was
No,
the seed was
it's
telling us
best this
that
way. I can't
the
ease this
Spike Breaker
torment.
was not the final one.
Someday, perhaps.
Yeah.
We will meet again.
So I should.
Was there a temptation to clear out all rocks before going to Soul of
Let's
Bat?
go.
My thinking in the time, if you go back and listen to the
No.
comms, I was
What's the
thinking you do
time?
all rocks first because there's a pretty high chance that Soul of Bat is something like Leapstone, for example, or even Power of Mist. But it being Jewel made that route that DB took absolutely perfect. I was just curious if either of you considered
Made
doing all
perfect sense
rocks
that it would be
then
Jewel to
library
me.
carding.
the only reason I wouldn't do Alrox is I'm a pretty firm believer of saving Alrox either for like the last thing you do in the first castle or like near the last thing you do. Just because there's
Kind of
just
like a matter of principle.
it's just a very if you have the ability to combine Alrox with Silver Ring, especially if you have library cards, it's so much more efficient than having to do Silver Ring
Yeah.
later. And Silver Ring very often is a integral like check, like it either is the final relic or it leads to the final relic in some way because it's so high complexity locked.
Spike
I don't
Breaker
think it's
into
worth it
flight
to get
was
the
pretty rough.
warp at all if you choose to do Aurochs when you're there and not do Silver Ring.
Yeah, that's
Then you just should not take the warp.
exactly. Yeah, that because then you're just spending 10 seconds or whatever to open the warp room for no reason. But yeah, this was a very weird seed where the intended form of flight was Spike Breaker locked. It was like, I think our flight was like layer 5 at that point or something like that, which is very rare.
Something like
Please,
that.
if you have any questions. Cryo, any questions here for our runners?
Nothing specifically for me. They kind of succinctly explained what they thought, and it made a lot of sense because that's what the route that DB took was the route that I was explaining I would have taken, and that's why it made sense. It's you don't want to have to double dip multiple places if you don't have to, you want to waste as little time as possible, especially when you're trying to go fast.
Yeah, and
Neither of them.
I just had a read that Silver Ring was going to be important, and I had everything I needed to do it at that point in time once we found Jewel of Open. And I'm like, well, my thought process actually was that, like, oh, okay, so flight is in caverns, but we have out of logic flight, so I'm not going to worry about that. And then it turns out that wasn't the case, but it still, like, covered both scenarios going to Silver Ring immediately. I was actually concerned. My first thought was, wait, what if Leapstone is not intended flight, it's just a random relic, and the intended flight is like Power of Mist in the caverns? But
Yeah, possible.
that ended up kind of confirming that my route was good, because I'm like, okay, so either Spikebreaker or Power of Mist or Bat is in the caverns, which means I'll be able to do Spikebreaker, which will give me the rest of the info that I need for the seed, basically. Because I think at that point, after clearing all rocks, I had 3 Vlad relics, so I knew there was one more that was in a high complexity location, which means that there was only one random Vlad that I had to worry about, which is the reason why I ended up skipping Grand Floon in that moment. I was like, oh, okay, I only have one random Vlad somewhere. The odds of it being Grand Floon is like 1 in 12, so I don't have to worry too much. And at the time, my movement wasn't like amazing. There was a couple of weird things that kind of tripped me up earlier on, and I assumed that your movement was going to be better in that scenario, so I'm like, I might need to skip just one thing. Because I assumed you would be pretty thorough with your relic checks.
Well, I did it only. I wouldn't have been, but because we saw Echo so early, I was like, well, Bat is like really low complexity this seed, probably. So that's one of the reasons why I went lower first, because there's more high complexity checks. So I'm like, one of these might be Bat. But when I saw the ring, I'm like, I think I messed up.
Yeah.
And yeah.
My guess is that
I don't know, but I'm guessing Bat is at Holy Glasses.
Yeah, me too. I didn't check it, but I'm pretty sure it's at Holy Glasses as well.
Yeah. Basic complexity read, even with Bat just somewhere in Castle 2, this was already a complexity 9 seed. If it was Ring into Bat, it would have been complexity 10. So I really hope it wasn't a complexity 10 seed. That would be brutal. I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. Unless somebody else wants to boot up this.
Holy Glasses was not. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Your Holy Glasses, at least on my read on this, was 6.
Yeah, so
it would have been,
Holy Glasses itself was pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, Dragon Blitz, one of the best races I think we've seen. Pretty much the perfect route and some great movement. Talik, you had some excellent movement as well. It was a treat to commentate. Thank you very much, Cryo, for joining me today.
No problem. It was a great seed to watch. Like, in every sense, it's like both players played amazingly well. It was just fun. It was fun to be a part of, and thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Talik, very nice job on the 5th place finish.
Yeah,
any final comments you want to make?
It was fun. I mean,
oh yeah, it's my pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun to participate. I'm gonna probably try and hop on commentary for some of the remaining matches and kind of chill back and just enjoy people racing.
Yeah, please do. It'd be a treat to have
fun
you.
play. GG's to DB and all the other people that I raced throughout the tournament.
Very much GG's. I will say, Lycanthrope's a lot of fun. It is a very fun race preset. I'm very happy that we have like a tournament that's all Lycanthrope, just to push the Lycanthrope meta as much as it has been during the race. It's turned out to be a very, very enjoyable competitive format.
Absolutely.
Well, Dragon Blitz, we will see you against Fire sometime in the near future. Congrats again.
I'll say I'm terrified of that guy. I have no words other than I'm scared. Genuinely.
Perhaps the most unpredictable player in SotN. Yeah, always a terror.
He's just so good. He's just so good at heat. I don't know how he does it. It breaks my brain.
That's gonna be a must-watch SotN.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna play.
To hear Fire.
I'm gonna play very, very differently versus Fire than I did versus Talik. Like versus Talik, I can kind of agree. Like, I guess it's just because me and Talik we've been racing this various versions of this randomizer for years now, so it's very clear for me to be like, okay, Talik's a pretty reserved player. We'll do lots of checks. We'll do systematic routes throughout the castle. Fire, I feel like on a whim, Fire's like, wait, actually, what if I just skip 40% of the first castle, go to the second castle for exactly 2 checks, library card back, restart the game, boot up Aria of Sorrow? Like, how am I supposed to read this guy?
It's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a treat to watch. So yeah, I'll wait to hear from you two on when you'd like to schedule. Also, as a reminder, if you don't know, Dragon Blitz is going to be at SGDQ in like, what, a week and a half? A week?
My run is on the 29th, I believe.
On the 29th, playing this very randomizer. And I think it's Lycanthrope, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so if you want to see this on the big stage, please do remember to give Dragon Blitz a follow and check out that run on the 29th of May. Alrighty, so that's going to do it for the tournament action today here. But...
Yeah, he's going into streamer mode.
Show now.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for the comms, Cryo. Hopefully you had fun.
Well, it was great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'll
you guys.
see you guys later.
Later.
Whew, I was Chat. How'd it go? You guys win big money? Dude, I can't believe Talik went down. That, honestly, I feel like he could have... Wow. I feel like Talik could have realized... I don't know. Maybe I just guessed right. I don't know. In my mind, it made sense, but I could see a world where... Yo, thank you, Ted Jude. Appreciate you. I could see a world where it's not so obvious.
You steal men's souls
to do all rocks
and
there, I
make them your
guess.
slaves.
Yeah, crazy. I thought I was behind the whole time. Genuinely thought I was behind the whole time.
You steal men's
Mostly because of my
souls
movement.
and make them your slaves.
Was Talik ahead at any point early on? Because I imagine we did the same route up until all rocks, right? Up until getting to the all rocks warp, I mean. Yeah, I imagine he was ahead, right? Movement-wise. That's what I was worried about, yeah. Because I knew my movement was a little bit off. Yeah, I guess the library routing was the real nail in the coffin. Yeah. He skipped elevator check. That's okay. That was what I was worried about. I knew it was very possible that Talik would skip elevator check, but I'm like, maybe he won't, because I felt like Talik was also starting to believe the idea of like library skip as a possibility, because I think Dinner Dog in that scenario would check in case it's like Leapstone, and then he would save library for later. So part of me is like, okay, Talik might check the elevator check, and then he ended up not doing it, and that does put you at a disadvantage. Finding glasses, I mean, glasses didn't end up mattering that much, I feel like, because like he's gonna find him eventually anyways. Because I didn't end up using glasses until I basically full cleared the first castle besides Grand Falloon. I think the thing that ended up mattering the most was the Grand Falloon skip, personally, but maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to watch it back. But that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Sweet deal. I promise the audio won't be messed up on this one when I upload it to YouTube, though.